Welcome everyone, Bratboy90. I rarely post an entire gameplay footage of like a whole match, but I feel like it's Destiny. The alpha, I didn't want to post anything on because I didn't know if it was going to change much, but the beta is pretty much the same, so I'm just going to go ahead, talk about Destiny. This is what you need to know, I guess, about the game while you get to watch some really good competitive gameplay. Now, this was my first or second match in the game. This was on Shores of Time. It's a ancient temple, kind of, that's kind of fallen apart, it seems like, and it's in a more woodsy jungle type feel. It's a really good map for mid to close range, and you'll see that I'm running what I believe is a pulse rifle. Don't quote me on it, because I haven't fully nailed down everything in this game with that, but it's a single fire rifle, and it deals out a good amount of damage for each shot, so I was really liking how it felt. Now, let's start with what are the game's weapons you can use. So you have your primary, you have a special weapon, and you have a heavy weapon. So this would be considered a primary weapon. This is what you primarily will use. You get the most ammo with it, and that's just how it works. Now your special, you'll see around the map every once in a while, you'll see these green little ammo boxes. Your special you get limited ammo of because they're generally more powerful weapons. And then right there, what you just saw was my third one, which is the heavy weapon, which is a machine gun or a rocket launcher generally. I haven't seen anything else other than those two come up. So the machine gun is good for fighting a vehicle or just dealing out lots of damage with lots of ammo and not needing to reload. Now the rocket launcher, of course, is super overpowered. You can hit people one hit kill with the thing, but again, these heavy ammos, you actually have to run around the map and pick them up. You'll hear the announcer once in a while say heavy ammo available, and it's a mad rush to get to it if you really want to use those powerful weapons. Now, I found myself not using those so much. They're kind of a crutch thing, and without vehicles, I want to say like weaponized vehicles around, they're not really necessary to play hard to, unless you want to use an RPG like some people do. So furthermore, we have the guns are kind of, there's a rarity factor in them, and the rarity, from what I understand, is basic, uncommon, rare, legendary, and then exotic. And these all have a different color code, of course. And those are kind of like how there's different guns that have different little special abilities of their own, kind of, and how damaging they are for the level they're built for. Because certain weapons can only be used, let's say you're level 6, a certain weapon you might get is a level 8 weapon. You can't even use it, you're just not a good enough player, essentially, to handle that weapon, is what the game is trying to say. So you can't even equip it until you're level 8. Now that doesn't mean it's an exotic weapon. It could be a very basic weapon. It's just meant for a higher class and will put out a lot more damage. So the game must, when you're doing competitive at least, it must try to keep people within levels close together, or you could have a level 1 who has a very crappy gun versus a person who has stupid high amounts of armor and a very good weapon, just completely crushing them because they're just a basic player. They don't have anything unlocked yet. So the game has to watch for that, and I think this was the same with Halo. If I played Halo, I didn't play Halo a lot, I apologize. I loved Halo, I love the sniping feel, and if anyone wants to know, the snipe feels the same here on Destiny. It feels the same because there's a slow gravity jump, and you can just pick people off like nobody's business, and you will see some sniping going on a little bit later. But the game is great. I have to say, if you haven't tried it, definitely try to get a hold of a beta key. If you have a friend you see playing it, you can message them, and actually most people have 3 beta keys total, so 1 for themselves and then 2 friends. So they're trying to get people to get the beta, but they don't want to do an open beta release because they're still working on some bugs. And clearly I've seen some bugs, but they don't bother me. They were mainly map loading issues, and you had to quit out of that match and go back in or something. But it was only on the co-op side where there's huge maps to walk around on. Now, if you want, you can actually go to, and I'm going to use them. IGN has a very good Wikipedia on this game if you're confused. But you have your auto rifles, you have hand cannons, you have pulse rifles, you have scout rifles, you have okay, well that scout, pulse, hand cannon, and auto rifle end the primary weapon sectors. Those are your 4 different types that are for your primary. Now you have special weapons. You have your fusion rifle, a shotgun, and a sniper rifle. There's all different kinds that you can get, but those are the 3 that are under special weapons. And then, like I said, for heavy, there's just machine gun and rocket launchers. Again, multiple different kinds within those. They're different names, different looks, etc. But they're all the same within the class. So you'll see my primary here must be a scout rifle, I have to say. It's not a pulse rifle. It's got to be a scout, but it could be a pulse. And it just deals, it's got that semi-automatic sniper rifle feel with a close quarter scope on it. Just a little red dot reticle. So it was very good at putting out a lot of damage with close to mid-range. Long range, a little bit harder because of the sight, but I had a sniper rifle for my longer range, and you'll see a few kills here if I haven't already made them. But the game, it's great. You get to build your character how you want. You get to create multiple characters if you'd like, and honestly, I think I might do that. This might be one of the first games I actually build multiple characters for, because it's so different. Every character has a different not like modeling, but they have a different power-ups, different abilities. You'll see my power-up, which happens a little bit later. You press L1 and R1 to use your power-up ability, which it says supercharged on your screen in yellow. And my guy dives and kills anyone within range. Now, there honestly could be 5 people around me, and it'll kill all 5. I've seen it happen, and I think I've got a triple kill of my own. So you have these really, really high power-up things that they seem overpowered, yes, but they're not, because everyone gets that, and it takes a long time to regen or to re-get it, so it's not overpowered per se. It's just something everyone has and everyone can use, and it's worth it. Now here you're going to see the supercharged coming up here, and you'll see it's an instant kill. He could be at full health, it just doesn't matter. And the only one that I've ran across is the Warlocks. They get this ball to throw, and it seems overpowered because they can throw it anywhere. That was the instant kill I was talking about. I knew I couldn't handle it. Now there's an issue right here. I used that, and I don't know if it was it or the level up, but I couldn't see that those were friendlies. I assumed they were just enemies because they were right where that guy was, so they followed him, it seemed like. But obviously they were friendly, so there's some things like that. Now another thing, you'll notice at the top left you have your mini-map, and it shows the apparent location of enemies close by in red. It doesn't show the exact markers, but it gives you a general direction. I actually find this pretty useful and very fair because everyone gets to see it. So that rarity of someone getting behind you out of nowhere doesn't really happen, because you kind of can watch your map enough and notice that they're close enough and stop them. So, and there's another supercharged kill, and that was a double. It's just extremely overpowered, but everyone gets it, and you just got to deal with it. Something to deal with. Now, the grenades, you have unlimited grenades, but you can't just spam them. They actually are on a regen type system, and it's pretty fair. So, you really should check out this game. Destiny, it's on consoles only, and we dominated this match way too bad. It seems like most matches end around 20,000. If you follow my kill death here and go by how many kills I had, and it just gives you a KD, it doesn't tell you your deaths. I got a 8.0 kill death, which means I went 16-2. Really good. So Destiny, this was on the PS4, so check it out, guys. Thanks for watching. Please comment, rate, and subscribe.